All right, everybody, we are back with our Friday review. As always, appreciate you joining me here today. Love being able to wrap up our weekday shows before we roll into our weekend Cabral House Calls, where, of course, I answer your questions each and every weekend. What I want to do, though, on these Friday shows is to bring you so many different topics that I wouldn't ordinarily be able to dedicate a whole show to. So each one of them might just be about 2 or 3 minutes or so, but I think they are things that you need to know. For example, this EMF blocking tape. We'll be going over that here today. If you're watching this on video, of course, you see me holding this in my hand, and if not, that's okay. You're getting to listen over on audio. I've got a book review. I've read many books on the mindset and how to improve our ability to manifest what it is that we want in life. So we're going to be going over a brand new book review in that department. We have 2 new research studies for you. One, actually, if you get your nails done, meaning use nail polish, you'll be particularly concerned about this specific one. And the second one we'll talk about something that honestly doesn't cost a lot of money, but can actually be and has been well studied in reducing anxiety and stress in individuals. And it takes no more than 20 minutes. So we're going to go over that right now. And let's get started. So first things first, I always give you a little recap, a little bit personal, a little bit from the online virtual integrative health practice. We go over the podcast recap. We get right into our product, our book reviews, research, and more. So one of the things that I like to share, and I shared this yesterday, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, is I'm trying to give as many insights as I can give people that about not just intermittent fasting, not fasting in general, but actually doing a water fast, doing an extended fast, who it might be right for. So I just want to make sure that you tuned into yesterday's show. We'll get to that recap in just a moment, but I also want to let you know that the reason why I did the extended fast is to also see how it can play on our metabolism, our methylation, our DNA, and much more. So now that I'm about, let's say, a few weeks out from, because I'm recording the show a little bit later, from the actual intermittent fast, I'll now be running my blood work, so my annual lab work, and it's not just annual, I do my lab work 2 to 3 times per year, full panel, and then I'll also be running an additional biological age lab test. And I don't know, and I shared this before on yesterday's show, but I don't know if my biological age, my rate of aging will have increased, meaning not a good thing, right? If you're aging faster, or decreased, and we'll have to see. And sometimes it's just time may tell, meaning like you may get an increase in rate of aging directly after an extended fast because it's quite a stress in the body. But we might see, in my own body at least, a month or 2 months or 3 months from now, it might have a rebound effect actually now to lower overall inflammation and homeostasis. So I'm interested in this. I'm absolutely going to be sharing much more of this in the new year. I'll have a specific blog on highperformancehealth.org dedicated just to longevity, rate of aging, all those good things. So definitely stay tuned for all of that. I just wanted to give an update too, just because I'm recording this even a little bit after yesterday's show. For me, what's very interesting is the weight is not coming back on my body as quickly as I thought it would. So I'm fairly surprised about that. Now, I'm only 10 days out or so from actually doing the not the intermittent fast, but the water fast, then the juice fast, then the fasting mimicking diet. So the second week was no more than 800 calories per day. And the first week, 7 days, was 0 calories. So what I'm interested in is how quickly does the body rebound, at least for me, right? My specific genotype, how quickly can I gain back that 17 pounds or so that I lost? And what seems to be lagging a little bit behind is actually the muscle on my legs, kneecap up to the glutes or the waist. And the reason why I say that is because for most people, and I'm going to be talking about that more next week, so stay tuned, 60% of your muscle mass, so fat-free mass, really important, that FFM is where the majority of your metabolism is. And so that muscle right there, that fat-free mass actually dictates a lot of your metabolism. So I'm interested to see how quickly I put that back on, how many strength training workouts it may take, what the nutrition looks like. But I'm back to my normal nutrition, and I've only put back on about 7 pounds of that. I still have about 10 pounds or so to go. So we shall see. I'll keep you updated over the weeks on that. All right. Podcast recap for the week on Monday, the Mindset and Motivation Monday. We went over before you win, keep from losing. It's one of my biggest sayings for whether it's a health company that I'm consulting with, whether it's a private wellness client, whether it's a mentorship, whether it's an IHP, whoever it is, it's before you win, keep from losing. I mean, like so many of us can't get necessarily into the game or start the race because we're doing things that are quite detrimental for us, not even worry about winning, but actually to get started and to get those first couple small wins before we achieve our big goals in life. So check that out. Tuesday's show is the 7 symptoms of mold sensitivity. You're going to want to be aware of that, especially since it's so pervasive in the environment. Wednesday's show is how to keep your metabolism high during the holidays. That was a fun one, I think, for all of us, myself included. And then yesterday's show was my 14-day fast, the key takeaways, and the water fasting details. All of those are at stephencabral.com/podcasts. And for today's show, head on over to stephencabral.com/2842. That's 2842, because I'm about to give you some of the product reviews, the book reviews, and more. All right, first product review of the day is actually something called Faraday Tape. This right here looks almost like duct tape. It looks almost like duct tape, but it's shiny. If you're watching this on video, you can see it kind of gleam in the video camera. And the reason is that this has copper and or silver threads through it. Why does that matter? Well, if you're hoping to block EMFs, you need them to actually be, for lack of a better term, captured or blocked or stopped in some way. And copper, silver, will do one of those things. So we also recommend, there's a great blanket. It's a weighted blanket with actually silver lining in it as well. You can find that by going to stephencabral.com/Therasage, and you'll find that. But today, I'm going to share with you exactly what I did with this. So my daughter's room, believe it or not, so their bathroom had mold in it. It had mold that we didn't know. We only moved into this house a year ago, and we already had to do mold remediation in 2 places. Well, we found another spot, and that was above their shower in their bathroom. So what we had to do was we had to move all their stuff out of their room, and we had to cordon off, block off their bedroom with their bathroom, and they had to gut the entire bathroom ceiling, clean out all the mold, retest, make sure the mold was gone, and then patch it all back up. So when they were moving though into we had like a spare room. It's not even, I would call it more like an office. But anyway, they were happy. They could fit in there. It all worked out. But there was an outlet right beside their bed where they were sleeping. And you've probably heard me say this before in the show, but you get dirty electricity coming. You get this electric radiation coming from these outlets. And so what I didn't want was anybody, including obviously my daughter, sleeping against that. So put 1 or 2 layers or more, 3 layers over the electrical outlet. Now, of course, you won't be able to use it as you're taping over it. And I can't give you, electrical advice here. But what this does is it helps to dramatically cut down the EMFs is not the right word because we're looking at frequency, but we're also looking at radiation. So I tested this myself, and I'm going to put it up on my Instagram in the stories, and I'm going to share with you how you can actually see it go from 90 to 120 on a regular outlet to their outlet, which takes it down to 20 to 30. So a dramatic difference. And now that I actually saw that too, I'm probably going to put another layer or 2. That was just with 1 layer. So you can use this in any spot that you want to cut down on those EMFs, especially any outlets behind your bed if you're not able to just completely kill the power from them. If you can kill the power to them, even better. Then you won't have that dirty electricity. All right. So Faraday tape, really inexpensive. I got this on Amazon. I will link it up for you today at stephencabral.com/2842. Just a quick tip there that I use in my own life. All right. Next one is a book review. It's funny because I read a ton of books, but they're honestly, some of them are just not worth recommending. They're just not. Meaning, if I believe a book will cause more confusion and is not the right step in a person's journey, I'll recommend it for like an individual like that I meet, but I won't recommend it to our whole community. But there's some books that I say, yeah, this is a great book. Everybody should read this book. And so beginner to intermediate level, that's who this book is for. Beginner to intermediate level on people learning about how to better manifest. I know people don't love that word, but that's okay. It's a great word. How to better manifest, how to better take control of your life, how to better use the law of attraction, all of these things from a real critical standpoint, not just wish it into existence, but actually how to visualize, how to look at things, how to structure your schedule, your day better. Very interesting book, and it is super short, comes with notes in the back, but 150 pages, and it's not a big book. You can see me holding this up. It's actually a beautiful little print. It's an orange hardcover and doesn't even come with a jacket on it. It's called Manifest: 7 Steps to Living Your Best Life by Roxy Nafusi. And if I want to be able to give you the table of contents, here we go. So be clear in your vision, remove fear and doubt, cultivate and practice self-love, align your behavior, overcome tests from the universe. I think we all need that. Embrace gratitude without caveats, turn envy into inspiration, trust in the universe. So really interesting book, but I don't know if that even gave it justice, because there's a lot of actionable things we do and a lot of call outs. So it talks about limiting beliefs. It talks about giving yourself permission to dream. It goes into choosing a timeline, how to get in the zone, how to separate your life into different categories, which I talk about all the time, right? How to design your life in the proper way. And then, when to create a vision board, when to put it away. So nice little book, without a doubt, beginner to intermediate level, not super advanced by any stretch of the imagination. And I think that's a great book for most people, and a great book, I would say, even for, let's say, like teenage years too. So if you're looking for good books, check this one out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I'll link it up to the Amazon link as well. And it is called, once again, Manifest: 7 Steps to Living Your Best Life by Roxy Nafusi. There you are. All right, our research for the week. Here we go. This one, I always love to give credit where credit is due. Dr. Mercola posted this on his Instagram. And I said, oh, this is really interesting. I want to dig a little bit deeper on this, because, the truth is this: even though Instagram and social media is great, it's just a starting point. Meaning, like, please don't take your information. I'm about to do a podcast on this next week on stevia, actually. Please be careful. Be careful taking your information from social media. I mean, I really mean that. So when I looked at this, though, this was interesting. So 2023 study, so this year, it was published in Nature Communications, big journal, and has found that ultraviolet A, so UVA light, all right, specifically from nail polish dryers, which when you go to a nail salon, I know I've never actually had my nails done. I'm not against it. I just can't see myself doing that. That's all. It's like, do I want to spend the time to get my nails done? I know people love it and it's relaxing and all that. I think it's phenomenal. I just never done it before, but for sure, I know and I've seen that when you're done getting your nails painted, you put them under, not everybody, you put them under a dryer that has UVA light. Now, what they found, though, and this was very fascinating, it can lead to DNA damage and permanent mutations, which is wild, because we can all get DNA damage from just even things like getting too much sun, like a sunburn. We can get DNA damage from a lot of different things. This was fascinating to me because it can actually cause permanent DNA damage, which was, again, fascinating. So it's the light used to cure chemicals in gel manicures in the spectrum of 340 to 395 nanometers. These devices are often marketed as being safe for the consumer. The researchers could not find a study on how they affect human cells at a molecular level. However, after testing 3 different cell lines, the researchers found that after 3 consecutive 20-minute exposures, 65 to 70% of all the cells exposed to the UVA light had died. They also saw that exposure triggered mitochondrial dysfunction, which may result in additional mutations. Okay, so my take on it is this. Permanent, I wouldn't go that far. Permanent, yes, for a period of time, no doubt about it. Because what happens is, think about it this way. If you go to get your nails done every 2 weeks or once a month, I don't know how often people typically get their nails done, but let's just say it's every 2 weeks. Okay, so if every time you're using these UVA light dryers, then you're creating damage. And that is then, yes, that's continuous. Like every time the cells start to come back, they get destroyed. So without a doubt, here's what we need to do and what we need to think about. if you're painting your nails, well, there are healthier ways to do that, right? There are absolutely non-toxic nail polishes, and you don't have to use those UVA light dryers. So just want to keep that in mind. Be careful of toxic gels. Be careful of those UVA dryers. And obviously, thank you to Dr. Mercola for bringing that to people's awareness, like myself as well. And then I can share it with our community, and obviously people can learn from there and share it with others. Okay. This last research study I want to bring you here today is from the National Health Research Institute. It is, and it was just published, literally just published 5 days ago. And it is, let's see here, in Alternative Therapies, Botanicals, Brain Health Essential Oils. And it is called A Combination of Lavender Oil and Music Therapy Reduces Anxiety in Subjects Undergoing MRI Scans. So, a lot of people are very anxious when they have to have an MRI. And if you don't know what an MRI is, they're doing open ones now, but for the most part, it's that big tunnel-looking machine, and you lie on a bed, and they move the bed into this circle, this tunnel, and you basically only have like 6 inches above your body. So a lot of people become very claustrophobic, and they have a very difficult time doing an MRI. Now, there are all sorts of companies, I've shared different experiences with you before, that they're making this easier for people to distract them. But specifically, what they found is that and this is, I think, pretty remarkable. I'm going to read it right to you. MRI examinations have been associated with anxiety, stress, claustrophobia, and 1% to 2% of examinations are completely aborted due to claustrophobia. So some people need to come in, some people need to go out, but some people literally, like 2 out of 100 can't do it at all. Now, other people, it's estimated that 25 to 37% of patients experience moderate anxiety. So let's say about a third, 3 out of 10 people, out of all people that do MRIs, then I'd probably say it's a little higher. Even when I've done an MRI, because I do the anti-aging one where you look at the full body MRI, it's interesting because no matter what, you get a moment where you're like, I'm kind of trapped in this. I'm stuck in it. Now I know all you need to do is press the button and they just, bring you out within 2 seconds or 3 seconds. But nevertheless, I think most people do. So they conducted a randomized, controlled, double-blind trial to evaluate the efficacy of anxiety-lowering effects of aromatherapy, music therapy, or a combination of the two in subjects undergoing an MRI. And what they found, and I want to give you exactly what it is because the combination was very interesting. I already know what it was, but it was lavender oil. I want to give you the exact one. And that was the one that ended up doing the best, along with classical music. And I know that I'm just reciting it from memory, but I can link it up for you as well out of Nature Health Research. It was Pachelbel's Canon in D major, repeated for 20 minutes. And during that, using the simultaneous aromatherapy, which is the lavender oil, and the music therapy, they were able to statistically and significantly decrease anxiety in the MRI group, in the ones who were experiencing anxiety with that. So, and what they used was called and I apologize because I'm not going to pronounce this correctly. It was measured using Kolkaba's, that's definitely not correct pronunciation, Kolkaba's General Comfort Questionnaire, also referred to as the GCQ. So there you have it. And again, what I want to share with you is that I have not, Pachelbel's Canon in D major, haven't listened to that in let's just say quite a while. So we're going to have to check that out again. But lavender, it was 8 drops. So this is it. Like if you want the exact, I don't want to read the research. Can you just give it to me? Yes. 8 drops of lavender was added to 300 mLs of water for 20 minutes. So that's it. So it was used in an essential oil diffuser. You can see the one that I like. There's all sorts of great ones at stephencabral.com/resources. Those are just all my favorite resources. So hopefully this was helpful. I'll link up all the research from today, the book review, as well as the product review of the week at stephencabral.com/284. for all the details. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing weekend coming up, and I'll be back tomorrow answering the first of our Cabral House calls. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.